If you help me record this record, I'll present you with a present. English pronunciation can be super tricky, so stay tuned as we look at similarly spelled words with completely different pronunciation. Hi friends, I'm Dr. B, the ESL doctor. I've been helping students learn English for almost 20 years. On this channel, I make videos with English lessons and tips to help you improve your English and connect your world. So if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing below. Group 1 is looking at words that have the same spelling, the same meaning, but different pronunciation. Under Group 1, we have words that come from Latin where the stress is on the initial syllable in the nouns and on the second or final syllable in the verbs. Let's look at some examples. Record, record. Record, record. Permit, permit. Permit, permit. Conflict, conflict. Conflict, conflict. Desert, desert. Desert, desert. Recess, recess. Recess, recess. Another group of words that have the same spelling and similar meaning, but very different pronunciation, are phrasal verbs and their noun counterparts. Now, phrasal verbs always have the stress on the particle, the preposition that follows the main verb. However, when we turn phrasal verbs into their noun counterparts, the stress falls on the first syllable of the noun. Let's look at some examples. Handout, handout. Handout, handout. Come back, come back. Come back, come back. Start up, start up. Start up, start up. Makeover, makeover. Makeover, makeover. Finally, let's look at another set of words that have the same meaning and the same spelling, but a different pronunciation. These words are not connected to Latin and they're not phrasal verbs, so they're special cases. Here are some examples. Live, 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 live. Read, 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 read. Read, read. Use, use. Use, use. Use, use. Now let's look at Group 2. In Group 2, we are looking at words with similar spelling, but different meaning and pronunciation. Under Group 2, we also have words that are derived from Latin, where the stress is on the noun in the first syllable and the stress is on the verb in the second syllable. Now, these words, unlike the ones in Group 1, have different meanings. Here are some examples. Construct, construct. Construct, construct. Produce, produce. Produce, produce. Subject, subject. Subject, subject. Object, object. Object, object. Contract, contract. Contract, contract. Now, there are also some special case words under group 2. These are not Latin derived words, but they again have different meaning and pronunciation, even though they have the same spelling. For example, lead, led, lead, led, lead, led, bow, 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 minute, 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 minute. Now that brings us to group number 3. And in group number 3, the words all have similar meanings. They're actually related words or families of words. However, the stress travels or moves in the different parts of speech. And so let's look at some of those examples now. Photograph, photography, photographic, photograph, photography, photographic, photograph, photography, photographic, competition, compete, competitive, competition, compete, competitive, competition, compete, competitive. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing, because in my next video, we'll be looking at subject, adjective clauses. In the meantime, why don't you check out some of my previous videos here and here. See you next time.